All right, three, two, one, and action. Live from New York. It is Friday morning live. Yeah. Today's the Monday show on Thursday, on Friday because I started a little late. Was gonna have a nice early dinner, but got a couple of things that unexpectedly altered that plan. Despite, as they say, no plan survives contact with the enemy or something like that. So anyway, I'm just making some adjustments. I think we're good. So today, what are we gonna do? Well, it'll be a surprise. Let's see who pops into the chat, and we'll take it from there. But I'll get started anyway. So this is a Godzilla movie. This is Godzilla. And oops, I'm sorry, I have to minimize this window. Yeah. Okay, good. I just want to make sure DaVinci. See, the way DaVinci works, it lets you monitor by having a monitoring window here. But when you have DaVinci in dual monitor mode, that's not exactly how this works, right? So we're going to just have to hope that you guys can see the Godzilla thing. So essentially, we should actually show what this looks like on a triple monitor setup, although I could barely preview. Okay, now it looks right. Okay. So the way DaVinci Resolve works, when you go into the workspace menu and you select video clean feed and you put it on, say, monitor 3, then anytime you highlight any of the DaVinci windows, it'll automatically display whatever's on your timeline or whatever you're kind of looking at right now. And if you click on another application, like let's say I click on a folder, it'll disappear. Or the monitoring window will disappear. Now, how we got these other two displays on my top right monitor and my left monitor, that is by selecting dual screen on. And sometimes you won't be able to turn it on or off, which usually means you just got to close and open DaVinci. But in this case here, my primary monitor is on the left. My secondary display is on the top right corner. And the video clean feed is counted as a separate thing, which this simply means whatever you're editing will be seen in full screen on that monitor. So, sometimes when I have my drawing tablet hooked up, I'll use that display because I just want to have like something with the correct shape and proportions so I have an idea of what I'm outputting, and especially when you're strapped for screen real estate. Now, typically I'll use these boxes for if I got to get really zoomed in or I got to analyze, or pixel peep, I call it, where I'm kind of just checking the quality of different video outputs, different files, I guess you would say. And that's what I do there, and that's interesting. Why is it not connecting? Am I even streaming right now? I'm a little worried that I'm not streaming right now. I'm going to check if another stream spawned itself by accident. It did. Well, that's not confusing at all. Oh, I see what happened. Wait a second. That's an issue. So, remember we did a stream about space genes? I'm not saying it's missing, but I see you guys here. Okay, so I got the wrong chat window up. I apologize. I'm going to get you guys up on screen right now, which means I got to double check Rumble too now, don't I? Don't highlight all that crap. All right. Let me get back to you guys first, and I'll figure out what happened there. That was a little inconvenient, but I think, oh, come on. Is this working? Okay, good. We had one viewer. All right, I want to apologize to whoever tuned in, whom I may not have greeted. Well, I didn't greet anybody because whoever was there showed up. Oh, well, we got one person watching. And hopefully it's not me because, I don't want to be the only guy watching my show. Now, I would delete this on the left side here, but I'm not going to delete it until later. I want to explore, but it looks like we got a show for August 1st. Actually, I think we could delete it now. Yeah, let's take a chance. I'm going to leave it. Yeah, I'm going to leave it. First and foremost, let me check my audio. We got the right audio? I think we got the right audio. Okay, cool. Then we're going to get the OBS chat window up again. I want to make sure we can, that we can all, see the chats on screen. So we're going to figure that out right now. There we go. It's the Game Gear Goddess. It's another thing. I was in the middle, right before the stream started, I started reinstalling Vroid, was it? Yeah, I believe Vroid Studio is that. Yeah, that's the one. And I gotta then go to my backup files. I might do it during the stream, but probably will wait till after the stream so I can mess around and focus. But we're gonna do a little Astro stuff in a moment. First I want to share this Godzilla movie I obtained. Now, I was trying to learn how to use these node slices in DaVinci, where you got these little boxes, and it's like this visual effect goes into that visual effect, and then da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And what I really wanted was to take something and line it up on top of something else. Now, best way for me to show it, let me just find it first. Oh, good, I have nothing sketchy on my screen today. See, look, I just got, yeah, everything's good here. Okay, cool. But yeah, I got like, okay, now oh yeah, okay, there's a gymnast with a butt showing, but that's not really anything. Anyway, so let me see here. Son of Godzilla dual audio. Let's go to that version. Yeah, that'll do it. All right, so here we are. Son of Godzilla. He's with this lovely Polynesian, I think she's Japanese. And the way I arrange this here is, you'll see I have these two tracks right here. And if I turn off the top track, you see this. In fact, I redid this already, so I should have opened up the other version, but it'll keep rolling with it. So, right, whoa, why is it doing a black screen? That's interesting. Let me minimize the OBS window. All right, let's try that again. That was interesting. Turn on video. Huh, look at that. That's a weird glitch. Okay, there we go. We got it back. Okay, good. So, basically what I realized was, okay, I got two versions of the same Godzilla movie. The track at the bottom is the Japanese version. I'll mute the audio for now. And the track at the top is the English version, which when you watch it in the beginning, instead of the Toho Film logo, it'll play the TriStar Film logo, which I've already, I already scaled it back. But if there you go, see, right there. It'll play the music with the horse. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, that one. I'm not sharing audio, am I? I am not sharing audio. Let's get you guys some audio here so that you guys can enjoy. Well, no, I wouldn't call it enjoy. Hey, what up, Slim Nim? All right, good. I think we got the right audio source shared. So it's not really critical you hear the audio at this stage, but just to give you an idea. Now, yeah, you're going to see that it is cropped, and I did that for a reason. I'm going to uncrop it for a moment. Okay, so it starts out like that. Then we get the Toho logo. And you're going to see why I cropped it right now. I'm going to press Control Z. And it was basically just so that we can kind of like see both versions of the film on top of each other. And if we do some pixel peeping, as I described it a moment ago. Where's the projector window? Okay, good. So I can zoom in on this like this. And what happens is, you can see one is a radically lower resolution than the other. I also did some experimental processing. I did use what they call a VS-GAN model. It's sort of like AI-trained models for video encoding software that can upscale it using a lot of different means. It's pretty cool, but that was last week. I think we messed around with that a little bit. Now, this one here doesn't have to line perfectly. There's, for one, if we uncrop the bottom, you'll see it literally says like, it's got English and Japanese there. But at first I was trying to line these little radiant patterns here with the film. So what we're going to do is we're going to skip ahead a little bit to a scene where there's people in daylight. There we go. This will do. And we're going to hit undo on the cropping. And you can see it's like a window of shitty video on top of a video quality video. So what happened here? So the Japanese version, which is this one with the warmer color grading and the better resolution, that, whether it came from a DVD or a Blu-ray, I don't know, but it came from a decent DVD or, a good DVD, one that was either progressive scan or at least interlaced in a way that was not insane. This one, on the other hand, when I ran it by ChatGPT, it kind of confirmed my hunch that in the early 2000s, TriStar Film published a number of DVDs where they kind of had sketchy IVTC, whatever the hell that means. But anyway, bottom line is they didn't really, from what I can figure, they copied it using a telecine. So let's get a picture of a telecine. I think a telecine would be a cool thing to see right now. Telecine. I did not spell that right, but that's all right. We don't have to know how to spell. It's the internet. Am I right? The internet will correct all your spelling errors. But no, I really want to get like a picture of an actual telecine machine. Scanning it. I wouldn't be surprised if Slim Nim knew about these machines. Now, apparently people are building their own telecines at home, but a basic fundamental telecine here, we got a few examples right here. In Google picture search right here, you'll see we got a DSLR hooked up to a film projector in order to copy 8mm film in 4K. We have these other ones. We have this wiki page called WikiWand where maybe they'll show us something cool. But it's essentially a film scanner, but they come in they work in a couple of odd ways. And as I understand it, no, I'm getting this backwards. Give me a second here. Original frame, video first, and resulting frame. Okay, so let me see here. Let's just read what it says. Telecine enables a motion picture captured originally on film stock to be viewed with standard video equipment. So basically, this is how you get film onto TV. I'm sorry, my camera's off. I'm sure you want to see my face. There we go. My hair's a little messy. Anyway. So, where's my mouse pointer? I lost my mouse pointer. Let me just shake it a little bit. There we go. Yeah, I don't know what these lines are. I'm just kind of looking at it. You know, anything with a lot of knobs on it kind of fascinates me. But I'm trying to look for something that I can describe or at least point out that might make sense to all of us. You know, like a CRT or a projection screen. In fact, that might be the opposite of a telecine. Okay, the scrolly thing on the mouse. There we go. Okay, got it. Okay, so obviously if you want to put it on video, cassette, DVD, or Blu-ray, a telecine is what you would use. And they're projecting it and then capturing it on some kind of camera, as far as I can figure. And in this case, I believe it's showing, what is that, a light bulb film. Then they're splitting it with prisms, it looks like. In this case, they're doing a horizontal vertical scan. They're using a tube, basically. Picture motion tube, PMT, is that what it means? Oh, that's a photo multiplier tube, apparently. So they're kind of scanning it using a, multiplier tube. What is this doing? This looks like an exotic method. Flying spot scanner. Okay, this is a whole other ball game. Oh, this is interesting. I don't even know what this is. Oh, this is also a flying spot scanner. Wow, this looks complicated. Huh. Are you just scanning the person? I'm not going to pretend to know how that works. I wasn't looking for flying spot scanners anyway. Although that might be a very important piece of technology. It's not really what I have in mind right now. Well, bottom line is, okay, when you're converting film to video, imagine if you were essentially using a video camera or something like a video camera, a camcorder to scan film. Granted, a telecine is a little more advanced than that, but okay, now the navigation is being a little sketchy. But essentially, that's sort of what we're dealing with. And interestingly, when the Apollo 11 moon landing happened, they had to do some exotic crap that contributed to the low quality of the video. Where, what was it? Slow scan TV. Okay, that's a whole other topic too. I'm sorry. We're opening up rabbit holes galore. Bottom line is, I have the impression that this Godzilla movie was scanned using like a shitty telecine, because watch what happens when I transparentize it. Now, yes, the resizing is a little bit off, but let's just say I've already spent a lot of time effing around with this. Like, I've sat down individually using the tools on the right side here and kind of just sliding them around and either moving things horizontally or resizing them, doing it proportionally sometimes. And actually, it does help. I mean, like, it is a little bit better aligned now, but as you go through the scenes, you're going to find that some scenes align better and worse than others. Oh yeah, giant bugs. You're going to want to see giant grasshoppers. I know you guys want to see that. Like, see, like, got this guy here with the hat, and his hat's kind of brimming out a little bit. So what I found worked was to, like, resize it proportionally in this case right now, just to see if that helps. Actually, it does kind of help. But, you know, there's a lot of transformations. Like, you got to move it horizontally. You know, you're trying to get, like, the guy's arms down here to kind of, you know, be similar in size. And sometimes resizing it proportionally makes it too tall on one axis. So, because when they scanned the film TriStar picture, they probably also screwed up the aspect ratio a little bit, which tends to happen when you're messing around with deinterlacing. You got to get your pixel aspect ratio right. I've barely learned that, but I know enough about that to know what to look for now. But even if I get like certain elements to line up, you can have other elements that don't quite line up. Like you can see how you know, everything's moving to the left a little bit, but the brim of the hat is kind of in the right place. But let's see, let's try and move everything to the right a little bit, right? That should make sense, right? So let's go. Move it to the right. Oh, my mouse point is being funny. Wait, oops, I clicked on the wrong item. Okay, let's try it again. Hey, that's weird. Why is it not working now? All right, let's, oops. Oh, Godzilla's son. All right. I had a number of weird things just happen on my end. All right, let's try it again. Okay, there we go. So let's see how the chat is doing before I get myself engrossed in it. Oh, holy schneitzel. There is a lot of people here. Hey, how you guys doing today? It's good to see you, Real Wade. I can't wait for you to fix one up. Oh, yeah. I got to send that to you. I really do. I'll do it this week. I know I said it last week, but no, it's been your birthday. It's come and gone. It's good to see you, Wade. I'm glad you're running a little late because I was getting out of work. Oh, I'm glad. Yep, they are definitely different movies when moved and dubbed for US. Yeah, you know, it's just been radically altered. And I like the idea of having, hey, what's up, Logan's fan base? LDP raid, says L. That's very nice to have an LDP raid. At the very least, we got some people who were tuned in. I was watching LDP until I crashed my computer. So, funny story, I accidentally turned off my water pump, which made my CPU get hot and then crashed. Although it crashed pretty gracefully, all things considered. But, you know, typically I would not turn off my water circulation. That is not usually what, you know, not typically the ideal. You know, we typically, when you have water cooling, you want water circulating. That is a basic thing, right? When I see giant bugs, who said something about Kamen Rider? I watch Kamen Rider. Oh, yeah, Kamen Rider is good. He's actually pretty uncommon. I don't know why they call him Kamen Rider. But jokes aside, I did watch Shin. I only watched one type of Kamen Rider. I watched Shin Kamen Rider. And, was it directed by that same guy? I don't know, but it was good. It was good. I liked it. It was interesting. It was different. You know, like, what I really want to see is Ultraman. I want to watch the original Ultraman and Shin Ultraman. Because after it's been described on Ironcaster's Mech Pit chat, I found that it's got potential. I mean, like, that sounds like a good show. Also, I'm looking for something I misplaced. Anyway, I'll worry about it later. But yeah, that seemed like an interesting concept. I don't want to ruin it for anyone, but or I don't want to misunderstand it because like what I heard about it, I liked. A CIB Game Boy SP. I wanted to show. Oh, cool. Okay, yeah, you can show me that later. A CIB Game Boy SP. What is a CIB? Kamen Rider Sega CD video game was awesomeness. Ooh, all right. And those are easy to play on modern PCs today. All right. So we got this Japanese man. And is he the professor or one of the workers? Well, anyway, we're going to use him, and we got some corrugated steel or corrugated metal in the background. So they were doing a weather experiment in this Godzilla movie, by the way. So see, they launched a balloon. And these are like actually some of the things that I used as visual elements to help me sync it up. It's like, there we go. This is another example. You can see how like, it's almost about right. Like, oops, okay. Excuse the noise there. It had some ducks in the background. And I'm like, kind of thrown off because I'm like, I don't think it's just the size of it because some elements are kind of fine. You know what I mean? Like, and it's crossed my mind to just kind of like, you know, eyeball it again. But if you do this to every other frame, you'll find that it'll drift in some frames. It'll get better and worse in other frames. But in theory, okay, we got a steel drum or structure. I got the vertical lines on the bottom right corner lined up about right. So what does it look like when I kill the transparency now? Actually, this one's not too bad. there is still some variation here, and I had a couple of theories here. One theory I had was that maybe I gotta rotate it, you know, so it shifts, the top shifts a little bit to the left. Maybe if I rotate it counterclockwise, it'll cooperate better. But I feel like that's not that simple, you know what I mean? I don't think it's that simple. The other idea I had was maybe I just stretch it a little bit more. The right side of the frame looks mostly good, but if I stretch it a little bit more, if I stretch it more, it might just do it. If I stretch it more and move it a bit to the right. So we would have to stretch the x-axis like that, and then move it to the right like this, and then see what happens. So one thing you'll see is that when you misalign something, you'll see it get blurrier or clearer usually, but I believe there is a way to get the software to kind of like emphasize edges a little bit more to kind of act as a visual aid. There is a method of some kind, but I'm not going that far right now. And also, yes, you could type in or, you know, move in increments of decimal numbers. That's also an option. See, like this is kind of close, you know what I mean? Like kind of close. This one's actually almost good. I'm afraid to touch it some more, you know, because everything is basically lining up more or less well. But like I said, it's like having a window of crappiness. And so I have two ideas to deal with this. Now, generally, I don't favor the English English audio track. I prefer the Japanese subtitles over the English audio track, but I do like the flexibility of having both. Okay, so they lost control of their weather balloon. It went up, and it created a radioactive storm, which I don't know why. They didn't have any atomic bombs in there. I don't know how it became a radioactive storm. But basically, they made it rain really hard on this island that already had monsters on it. And all of the things that you saw in the beginning of the movie, the towers are now dirty. And these are two different towers. These are not the same tower from different angles. This is a different tower. It's not like, look, they're not cheap. They're not recycling the set props. Okay, obviously this is a different tower. Okay, they would never recycle props, all right, guys? So you know. But jokes aside, in the beginning of the movie, you even see the towers. See these guys. He goes to the tower. He gives a weather report, and look at this. Look, like this one's way off alignment. So, for me to give a shit to realign all of this, I'd be sitting here. I'd have to figure out probably different scenes were captured differently, or different scenes were altered differently. It's been reformatted or resized already, and that would be too painstaking. So, I'm not really trying to realign it. I just thought it would be kind of fun to realign it to see if we can get it right. But you can see how, like, it would be very time consuming for no gain. So what's the other option? Well, really just to kind of synchronize the English audio track with the Japanese video. So the way I would do it is, well, one option is just let's crop this just for the fun of it. So we have this window of garbage, kind of like we can use it as like a reference, like make sure that the scenes and the audio more or less line up, you know? So as we go through the movie, you always have that box of bad color. And look how bad the color grading is. Like, if I didn't know any better, I might not know which one has the correct color. But I'm pretty sure the correct color is the, you know, higher quality background frame. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I don't want to deprive you of the opportunity to see this. How cool is that? Okay, let's get the whole scene. Yeah, look at that. Look at those giant grasshoppers. They're so cute, aren't they? Those big eyes. Those big, beautiful eyes, man. My turtles, if they ate those, I could maybe take the meat, put it in the freezer in little cubes, and give it to them for like the whole year. I bet it tastes like crab legs. Let's see what the chat thinks. Do those taste like crab legs? I have not watched Wirehead, but I've heard actually, yeah, Wirehead sounds familiar. I can tell you about Wireheads from a science fiction book I read once, where basically these were people who had what they call shunt jacks, and they would access the internet or, you know, whatever they called it, the Gibsonian matrix, they'd get online that way. What up there, Taode? Oh, why you retract the message, man? It's the free speech zone, Logan. It's good to see you, buddy. But it's a free speech zone. And because I record the chats on my screen, if I'm curious... Oh, me, Raid. Okay. I just, I was like, I don't know what you would be embarrassed about writing. And I don't think you'd write, F you, Ron. But I figured maybe it would either be like a typographic error or a cuss word. But both are okay, But it's good to see you, man. Thank you for rating me. Everyone, that's Logan Denier. Logan Denier Productions. I mean, that's what LDP stands for last I checked. It might mean something else now. But if you go to LDP Productions, you can get your local DP. I mean, I'm kidding. But seriously, though, check out LDP Productions. And I just did a redundant acronym. I said LDP Productions. That's like saying PIN number, right? PIN number, personal identification number. No doubt, no worries, man. I'm just messing around with you. Yeah, so you got these ugly ass bugs here, these giant grasshoppers, and what's uglier, the bugs or the video? But anyway, we can do some pixel peeping here to analyze this, and you can actually see on my left monitor. Oops, that's not my left monitor. Let's try that again. All right, hopefully you're seeing the right side of my left monitor. So if we crop it out, oops, wrong button. It's not much, but essentially bottom line is the English version, there's like nothing there to upscale. So we're not upscaling that version at all. That's for sure. And let me see here. Okay. Let me see what my, where's my button for the, I want to make this full screen. Okay, good. Okay, good. I was just making that a little more ambiance. Yeah, let's give you guys some ambiance. The ambiance ain't that great, is it? But, all right, cool. So, yeah, that should do fine. Okay, let me think this through for a minute. Oh, I made duck sounds again. Oh, here we go. See, they're messing with the atmospheric pressure. There it is. Okay, we saw this already. That's the... Okay, you saw the dome before, but you didn't see the weather balloon. And then I think... Oh, here we are. And these were really useful for aligning the video. When I first started, having these types of displays were really handy for getting the sizes and shapes of everything right. But like I said, from scene to scene, it changes. I want to show you guys the island while it's clean before we go anywhere. That's a news reporter. He landed by parachute. There we go. There's the village. See, it's clean. Everything's clean. It's all nice. In the beginning, you got the guys at the tower. Everything's nice and clean too. See, there we go. Little support structure there to hold up this tower-like structure. And so it looks so clean right now, but after it rains, it's going to get all dirty. And look, they got the word headquarters in English. So bottom line is, I think the audio does line up basically. Like if we zoom in on the audio here, let's take a look together right now. Where you would check it is check it to your peaks lineup. Now, the only problem is that we're speaking two languages, right? English and Japanese. So there's that. Also, another thing I noticed, even if you get it to synchronize early in the movie, like I eliminate the TriStar movie logo right here. See that? So we're going to eliminate that. And we're going to try to get it so that essentially now when the movie rolls forward. And my only concern was that, is this even synchronized correctly? Because, it's like, do I want them fading on at the same time, even if they're not aligned? Well, logically, yeah, I think I do, right? So let's see if we can do that. So, let's just say we do that. Okay, now they're kind of synchronized. The other thing you might do is synchronize the audio, but I'm not even sure if they're using the same audio track at the beginning, but I would typically look at the peaks and look for shapes that were similar. So, oops, I just did that by accident. I meant to do this. So what I really want to do is I want to resize these so that the audio peaks are visible. See how like now they're nice and visible, relatively speaking. So now when I go and I move this around, I can maybe figure out where the audio is supposed to go. And typically what helps is if you have something like a drum or a tick-tock. Here we are. This looks like something. See that? So now we can like grab this track and line it up with these like okay, I dragged it too much. But that's kind of, yeah, it's basically it. Now, sometimes there's another caveat, and sometimes it helps to re-encode the video and re-encode the audio and get them to use matching frame rates and things of that nature. But barring that, you know, we can eyeball it basically, and it may prove to be a little bit off. You can see how like these little humps are like either too far forward or too far back, and I don't think there's any real precision available to us in that regard. You know, turning off the snapping tool, it's still going to snap to the smallest increment available. So we're going to take our chances with it and see as we go along if it's perceptible. And from afar, it looks like most of these are lined up, see? Okay, so there's the Japanese guy, news reporter. And I'll give you guys some audio for that so you guys can hear the English-speaking guy, the dub step man.
It's got to be a plane from the UN.
It's got to be a plane from the UN. And they're dropping him. See, he got a little parachute and his bag. He got his two parachutes, a man and a bag. See, how insane would it be if I sat here and tried to realign all of these scenes? But once again, we know that we don't want the crappy quality video anyway. So there is one last thing before we wrap this segment up. When I'm done with the video, what do I save it as? Like, let me find the folder real quick. And I'll show you my conundrum. So, we got Jizuto no Kessen or Gojira no Musuko, 1967. We also have in two separate folders here. So, I'm just going to turn off the navigation pane so everything's nice and labeled and clean. All right. So, we got these two directories here. This one is the Godzilla Complete box set, and this one here is the all Japanese version of the Godzilla collection. So you'll notice that down here I got Son of Godzilla English, and I got Son of Godzilla English.ass. That's Advanced Substation Alpha subtitles. And the way it's set up, it will automatically link the subtitles that are already there. Like that subtitle file isn't, it's actually, no, I embedded that subtitle file into the file, so it shouldn't actually rely on the external subtitles. But if I did not embed those subtitles into this file, it would use the subtitles in the folder right next to it. At least on MB it would. But I basically kept everything the same. I just modified the subtitles and embedded them. So this is the crappy quality English version. And
Nice of you to come get me.
oh, that's loud. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, I'll lower that a bit.
Nice of you to come get me. That's my baggage. Bring it along, huh?
And who are you?
Confident.
Maki Goro. I'm a newsman and photographer.
Now, I have a concern here. A while back, I think I took the subtitles from the English one and added them to the Japanese version. So the subtitles that in my current Japanese version match up with the English dialogue, and there's no guarantees that that is correct, especially considering he's saying I'm a newsman and photographer, and I'm like,
And who are you?
well, what does he say in Japanese? Let's see what he says in Japanese, why don't we?
Nice of you to...
All right, sounds a little bit low here, so I'm gonna try to crank it up for you.
頼みますよ。
All right.
日頃フリーの記者です。お世話になります。
Okay, I'm gonna listen
フ
to
リー
what
の
he
記者
said.
です。お世話になります。
Wait. Something, something, Moss.
お世話になります。お世話になります。お世話になります。よろしくお願いします。登録期間。あ、やんなんだい君は。牧五郎。
Maki do. Oh, he says his name. Maki Goro. That's his name. He says it in, you know, the same language that is written in earlier.
フリーの記者です。お世話
And he says something, something. He might actually say the word journalist.
お世話になります。お世話になります。よろしくお願いします。フリーの記者です。お世話になります。
Oh, I think he actually says it. My sound's also low on my end. I could amplify that a little bit. Let's make it. It's not. I gotta remember to undo that, but let's make it louder. Let's bring it up to 20 dB.
お世話になります。お世話になります。フリーの記者です。お世話になります。
Does he actually say freelance journalist?
フリーの記者です。お世話になります。お世話になります。フリーの記者、五郎。フリーの記者です。お世話になります。
Nah.
数帰りたまえ。
そんな無茶な。
無茶は決ま。数帰りたまえ。
そんな無茶な。
無茶は。わしどん。
話してもなんです。
略す。
はい、君は。牧五郎。フリーの記者です。お世話になります。
Yeah, so I don't know what he says, but if anyone knows what he says, let me know. Let me know if the subtitles were correct. So anyway, I'm gonna pull up something else now, and bottom line is, we don't need the video track, the garbage video track. We really just need to make sure it's synchronized. Oh, and I guess before I do move on from that is something we can easily check, right? So we're in the beginning of the movie. Let's go to the end of the movie and see how synchronized it still is. You know what? This might work. There are some concerns, though. I mean, see that drift right there? Look how much that is actually not great. Because it means that you're going to hear the same sound here and here. Yeah, so that is terrible. So if I care to even embark onto this, I'm going to have to figure something out about that synchronization there. And if we go back to the beginning of the movie, we can see maybe this should be moved up. But it's going to be off over here. Wait, actually, maybe that's not a problem because this is the audio, this is dialogue, this is not sound, right? Let's see what it sounds like with the English.
Captain, the radio's off. It can't. Captain, the radio's off. It can't.
That's not so bad. Oh. Hey, does anyone remember what dB level the sound was at before I messed with it? Oh, wait, never mind. We'll leave it alone.
Can't be. What's wrong? A lot of that thermal interference.
Okay, I got it. Okay, so we got that. Let's get him.
It's more like a brainwave. What? Brainwave? That wouldn't interfere with the radio. Oh, what's that down there? Godzilla! Rolling up.
So, yeah, it's like guys saying, Godzilla, Godzilla. So, it's out of sync over here. But then when we get to the end of the movie, it's still out of sync. So, yeah, I mean, it's a bit like playing whack-a-mole. So, let's use some logic here. Let's line these up within a reasonable margin of error back here. Okay, so hypothetically, that's good, right? Let's go back to the beginning of the movie. Oh! That's interesting.
The radio's out. It can't be. What's wrong?
Yeah, so basically there's a major amount of drift. I'm well aware of it. I've encountered this before, and the lesson is don't drive yourself insane until you properly re-encoded the files to have the same perhaps parameters. Like, for example, if I was re-encoding this, I've done it before, I would probably try to match the, what is it called, the sample rate. So CDs are like 44 kilohertz. Sometimes you'll see 48 kilohertz on your computer. You know, I would match whatever output I did, I would try to match it up, you know, or I would pick one, I would say which one has higher quality audio, and I would make the crappier quality audio match up with that, you know, because I don't want to reduce the quality of the bad or good audio, and I, you know, don't really care if I re-encode low quality audio at a higher bit rate or something like that. I mean, I'll kind of just mess around and see what works. So now let's get something else up on screen. I wanted time to prepare something, but in lieu of that, I'm gonna just pull it up. Give me 2 seconds here. Oh, I had a disappointing time last week. On 2 weeks ago, we were watching the Corbinite maneuver on Pacific 414, and give me a second. I gotta type in a note here. 2025A, and what happened was it was actually pretty funny. I had the bright idea. I was like, oh, I always want to take a scene from Star Trek and stabilize it. You know, like, you ever see the video of the people on Next Generation being stabilized? I think you guys might like that. I'm going to pull it up for you guys. I think it'll be a fun one. Am I in the corner of the screen? I'm not in the corner of the screen. Let me put myself in the corner. All right, good. So, let's see. Star Trek stabilized. All right, so this is going to be fun. This is going to be a lot of fun. And I'm going to take the OBS window, put up my top monitor as soon as I can get the win. So I can basically get this out of the way. And the Next Generation one is probably the best one to watch. Let me get the chat here. Where's the chat? I lost the chat. All right, I see the chat. Okay. I'm sorry I'm behind on chat. I remember they found a clean version. Hey, what's up, some person of Manos, Hand of Fate. There was a huge difference from the degraded version. Interesting. Wow. Yeah, so that's what we're talking about. Like, somebody will come across it, and they'll be able to do the, you know, scanning of it and all of that crap. Actually, the better color was lost after only a short time from the Japanese version, then upgraded for the ports, if I remember. So are you saying the original one had worse color for a time? All I know is that whatever TriStar got in 2000 or whatever they did to it in 2002 did not come out looking good. But I also remember they had to clean the crap out of the film for Star Wars. I do remember that. Like, it was a whole project. So, yeah, that's a good idea. Isolate the soundtracks, limit them, and then I figure out what the cuts are. And I mean, I figure there's no guarantee. I don't think it's a matter of like lining it up. I mean, you could see it drifts. So even if we do the most logical thing, because that is a very logical thing, Slim. I like it. You know, it's logical. There is that drift, and until we re-encode the files to kind of conform to each other or do something else, I don't think it'll matter what logical stuff we do. I think it's like an additional step in this workflow. Sort of like when I combined the O-Village, which I still have to get that out. I still got to get that out, yo. That O-Village video is coming out along nicely, too. Like, it just, I got a little OCD on the color grading, and also I saw one minor error that I already fixed, but I want to give it another once over because it's one of those videos. I uploaded a video a couple of weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and maybe 2 weeks ago. And I was like, after uploading it, I realized I had to fix something. And then I uploaded it again and realized there was some of the loose end. And so I decided not to upload it until I'm absolutely certain that I won't catch another error. Oh, look, something written on the screen. Game Gear Goddess, I see it. I'm going to translate that. Maybe Game Gear Goddess was translating what the Japanese man was saying. Translate. English to English. Oh. Google Translate has identified this as English. Japanese to English. Yeah, we got this. We're going to pick Japanese, which is above Javanese. Oh, crap. I missed that fucking Google. You know what I meant. talking to Google. Okay, I did this Google. Look what I did. Look what I did it all ass backwards here. Let's try this again. Japanese to Japanese. So now I needed to translate the Japanese to English. And English should be at the top of the list because America first. Now, I remember when I worked in customer service, somebody was they got their panties in a twist because, like, what the hell? Okay, what I'm gonna do it the normal way. But they got their panties in a twist because, you know, they didn't appreciate that, like, English or American wasn't the first prompt on the voicemail system, you know? They were like, they're taking over for myself. Oh. So he is a freelance journalist. Thank you, Al. And then this means kiss. So if I put these together, I should be able to get the word kiss myself. But instead, all I get is for myself. So that's kind of not as exciting as, like, kiss myself. He's like, this alone means kiss. So I was hoping that if I do kiss and myself together, I can somehow say kiss myself. Oh crap, I almost accidentally hit report. Well, I don't know. I just want to do a funny play on words, you know. I'm just, let's see. Okay, yeah. So I do these words. That's interesting. So it's interesting how, like, they combine to mean nothing. And I do have that plugin. I disabled it the other day because I was downloading. I was working on something and I didn't want, like, too many plugins running or something. I forgot what I was doing, but I think I was starting with. Oh, I know. I was turning on a dark mode plugin. Now I don't know. I was doing some troubleshooting. But the Japanese plugin I was using was not the problem. It's a good plugin. I like it a lot. So I'll better re-enable that. It literally translates as for myself. Crap, I hit scroll down too soon. But depending on context, it doesn't usually mean something selfish. Yeah, that's what I think. I think that the context in this case was he's a journalist who works for himself. He's like a freelance journalist, which I mean, I know that's not what he was literally saying, but I kept hearing that word, and frankly, I was probably hearing it because I already knew the context. But let's see here. When your movies are notoriously known for being off time for a voice, years and years later, people like DJ Ronnie G come by and is insane enough to try and make it all work. Well, like, I know the voices aren't supposed to align, but if Godzilla or, you know, Son of Godzilla makes a noise, that should be synchronized. If the music has a drum beat, that should be synchronized, is basically what I'm getting at. Let's see if we can get that stabilized Star Trek footage one more time real quick. Yeah, there it is. So this is what it looks like on Star Trek when you stabilize the footage. Now, what I don't like about this one is I think it's a little bit less dramatic. We should find a really dramatic example. So this one's a good example because you can see the border. So I'll make it full screen for all you people on your telephones. See, like, and this is like really shitty quality. I don't know why it's such. I guess this is an older video where somebody decided to do it at 10 frames a second to save computer resources or something. I don't know. Don't know why they would do it. Oh, cool. The Sailor Moon Super Live show. They got. See, it's not really the real musical group, but they're interesting. Anyway, here we are. Doomsday Machine. Now this is the one that I thought. No, I did the Cobramite maneuver. Oh, this is a good one. This is the one, the hand of God of Zeus, Apollo. That's fucking Apollo. That's the Greek god Apollo reaching out into space with his green ass hand. Okay, so this is not stabilized if the camera rotates. Am I right? Oh, here it is. Okay, cool. So this is the real scene. Let's see what happens when they fall. Okay, so that looked pretty real, right? Like, that did not look like the camera was tilting or that anybody was shuffling. They looked like they really fell. Oh, who's that pretty lady in the background? I mean, I know Uhura is there, but oh, look, see, she's pretty too. I've seen her before. Yes, she's an extra. She's cool. I think she had short hair in the episode. Oh, wait, I'm sorry, fast forward. Ready? Hey, look, it's a member of the Monkees. Hey, we're the Monkees. That's why they gave him that hair. All right, let's go. Okay, let's see what happens. See, that was pretty good because, like, here's the thing. Even though, yeah, like, you can completely stabilize it, I think it can be nice to have this visible border here, this margin, so that you can sort of know what is going on, so that you don't assume that the stabilization failed, because you still see the image shake. It's just that the image shakes, but you can clearly see that it was supposed to move a hell of a lot more than it did. And that's what I mean by a dramatic example. Let's have fun with this. They really, look at fucking Sulu went all in. Oh, not Sulu. Who the fuck is that guy in yellow? Not Chekhov. Who the fuck is that? This guy went all in right. He might be a real stunt double. That guy. That guy went all in. He's probably a real stunt double. Yeah, he might be a real stunt double. Because everyone else, like, Nimoy, he just had to lean into this console. That's pretty fucking easy. Fucking Sulu and Chekhov, they fell, but, like, where the hell did Chekhov go? He's small. Oh, he just went right into the astrogator plotter. He could have broken that. Yeah, he just fell right on top of the navigation plotter. Shatner just kind of like, just said, I'll just do a lazy lean. Oh, he gets the push. No wonder Sulu fucking hates him. Watch this. Watch what he does to Sulu. Fuck Sulu. Oh, I like Sulu's character. George Takei is a bit of a whiny baby. But yeah, you know, no wonder Sulu hates him though. He really got pushed side by side. Oh, speaking of side by side. All right, one more. I'm going to get back to chat. I think there's a video of stabilized... Oh, yeah. There are videos of stabilized Star Trek. Some person were watching them. Thank you. Well, well-known thing, everybody leans to the left. Is that better for the camera? Or well, it's because they have to, right? Like, I mean... I guess it's easy for the cameraman to rotate the camera to the left. And it's easy for the people to lean to the left. It's easy to keep it consistent, maybe? Or maybe it depends on how, you know, your port and starboard directions, you know, cardinal coordinates work. And a shout out to this guy who gave it his all. Yeah, right? That's this guy. That's what I was talking about. Look, the guy behind the chat. I told you, he gave it his all. I don't think he gave it his all for free. I think he's a stunt man. Ow! I think he's a stunt man. That's mad funny. He really looks like he got fucked up. He's like, ah, my fucking head. And I don't know if he's faking it or not. He might have really gotten hurt. Oh, that was good. That was great. Oh, thank you for watching that with me, guys. That was fun. I think there's a video. Oh yeah, I read that already. And then these three letters mean something, something, something. Hell, I guess I could translate those letters. Chiyu, chiyu, chiyu means kiss. I see you. I kiss you. I see you. I'm sorry. I'm guessing with that. I'm just reading what it says in Google Translate. All right, not being racist. It says chi you. Okay, maybe the high pitched sound is a little too much. But let's play it back in audio form.
Chew.
Oh, that's way different. Chew. 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 Okay, I'll work on it. Maybe they should have a masculine Japanese voice read it to me because, you know, I'm so masculine. I have to purchase artificial tears. So giving me, you know, a tutor who's got a female voice just makes it that much more difficult for me to learn the language. But anyway, joking aside, but it's actually the Japanese onomatopoeia, I can say, for kiss. Huh. And onomatopoeia is what again? No, I should know this. Isn't it like a, damn it, I can't click on the word. I have to type it out. Isn't it like, a synonym? Monopoeia. Onomatopoeia is the formation of a word from a sound associated with what it's named. Oh, murr. I get it. I had that book when I was a kid. You know, the book with the little buttons on the side and you press it and it's like a cow goes moo. That's a cool book. And then they had the hand crank toys, which had like a vinyl record inside of them actually, which is or a piece of like weird tape. Anyway, So yeah, it's pretty damn, it's pretty different, but at least English structure has enough similarities to Japanese. And hey, maybe AI can fix this eventually. Yeah, I mean, like, I'm not worried about messing with the synchronization there, but one thing I did notice that in areas where the what do you call it, sound effects were synchronized correctly, I did notice that the way they dubbed it, they would sometimes start the dub line earlier or later in order to get the lip syncing to work. So while we always joke about these movies having like a bit of a schlocky nature to them, they do put some good effort into them. And like in the movie Shin Godzilla, they did a pretty okay job. In the new movie I saw, what was it, Godzilla -1? They did a good job there too. I mean, like, is it the paragon of like, it's not going to be ever 1-to-1 with the original, but also I think there's a certain expectation that we now have. We don't want it to be too perfect. At least some people wouldn't. I mean, if you're serious about watching a live action movie from another country, generally subtitles are like the best way to do it. I mean, yeah, I've seen examples where they got the, have you guys seen examples where they do the dubbing really well? I mean, don't they, in the Philippines do like Tagalog of dubbing of certain cartoons? I do remember like, back in the 90s, you could set the VCR to second audio program or the TV, and then you would be able to watch The Simpsons in Spanish sometimes. And that was sometimes kind of interesting, LLM, large language models, select the proper context for translation. Oh, yeah. Well, in this case, I see it. In theory, it would be selecting the proper context. Yeah, I agree. What's up there? Ever turtle? How are the turtles? Let's check on the girls. I think we got the girls on screen somewhere. I also have a Pixel Surgeon on screen. That was a cool app that Snow made. Our friend Snow made an app called Pixel Surgeon. You upload a picture, and you can make it into pixel art. It's kind of fun. I'd play with it on stream, but I should ask permission first. But for now, I'm gonna go look for my turtle cam. Only turtles. OT, only turtles. Ooh la 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 la! Look at Squirtle. I hope she's okay. Is she okay? She's been in that position for hours. I'm a little scared. I might go down there and check on her. Is the camera frozen? Yeah, I'm getting a little scared here. She better be sleeping. Nah, maybe they're both sleeping. Or maybe there was a power outage from the lightning storm and the water's not moving because the filter is off. I think the water's moving. I don't know, man. I'm gonna keep an eye on this. Yo, I'm scared. I want to make sure Squirtle moves. Let's watch it together. Let's see. All right, Squirtle, come on, move, girl, move. Boy or girl, one of them. They, them, her. He, she, they. Her nose is pointier when she, is standing on land. That's why we question it. But I would expect it to twitch or something. You know what I mean? Sometimes when I'm watching the turtles, they'll move like almost like they can sense me watching them. I could just turn the light on right now. I could do that. I could remotely turn on the light, but no, I'm not a dick. I'm not gonna do that. Waking them up in the middle of their sleep cycle, that's gotta be bad for their lifespan, right? Maybe we can start the recording and then we can rewind it and see if there's any change in the time lapse. Now let's check on Poffy. They can't both be dead at the same time, right? I mean, unless the water got poisoned on both sides. But anyway, no, I'm half joking. I mean, I'm really hoping I get to see them move a little bit. Half the time I log into the camera, especially when I'm at work, I'm just like, uh-oh, they're not moving, move! But I get it, turtles are slow. But I'd still feel like, it's weird, they went into like a deep hibernation or something. Like, what the fuck? Squirtle buddy, how you doing? Yes! She moved! Okay, we're good. She's alive. Alright, Poffy, how about you? Don't make me turn on the light. Come on, shake your shell. Shake your shell. Alright, I'm good. I'm satisfied. I saw Squirtle move her head, so... Oh, look, her eye opened! She's probably getting some air. She might not even be... I don't even know if she's awake to know she's doing it. But she loves sleeping over there. Like, I think she feels safe that she knows she could pop her head up a little bit. Look at that. Oh, look at my precious. I don't know if they can see the infrared night vision light. Unfortunately, the camera is so close, it's out of focus. I do want to do something different with the cameras at some point, or like position them a little bit, but yeah. I think her eyes are closed right there. Yeah, I think her eyes actually go inside the head when she closes them. So it makes them look a little weird too when they close their eyes. Oh, she's doing something. She's on the move. All right, where's the chat? I'm sorry, chat. I was just checking on my turtles, make sure they're okay. Cobra. Oh, is that the song? The G.I. Joe opposite? Cobra. Dun, 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 dun. The stabilized high FPS video looks like an 80s sitcom. Yeah, right? As a developer, even with native speakers from both sides, born and raised bilingual have a hard time doing it at times. Oh, yeah. Jiggle the camera. I mean, that's half the battle, right? I don't know, man. That's a tough question, man. You just gotta get me like on a day when I'm like in a good mood and just get me to do it. You gotta say, Ron, it's Tuesday. Before you stay up late drinking beers, please put the battery in my Game Boy. That's what you gotta say. Or better yet, I'll do this. I'll put it in a place where it's even less safe. No, I'm kidding, but I say less safe because, like, you know, moving it forward on my desk. Okay, I got 2 out of 3 screwdrivers. Is this the 2900 megahertz battery? Yes, I just made up a term. 2900 milliamp hour battery. No, this is the 900 milliamp hour battery. I told you I put the high milliamp hour battery in, right? Got like a tickle in my throat right now. Ow. And I just bumped my head into the camera. Okay, just give me 1 second. Oh, here it is. Okay. Oh, no, wait. That's the same battery I just had in my hand a minute ago. Okay, so that's not the battery we want to put in there. Well, depends on where the battery is. Oh, here it is. Okay, I got the battery. Got the battery. All right. All right. It's got its own screwdriver, too. Do we dare just do the battery right now before we wrap up the stream? Do I dare? Do I dare do that? What do you guys think? Should I just do that before I wrap up the stream? Here, let me slide my keyboard up. Put Sailor Venus closer to the wall. Well, not the wall, but you know. All right. Let me see this here. Okay, so let me see if we can get this done here. So, turtles are fine. Oh, God. Okay, I just pulled the camera out of the socket, which is pretty normal because of the way it's designed. There we go. All right, so there we go. I cannot click on a short right now. Click on the short or the battery, because I'm not clicking on the battery and opening the short at the same time. Hey, what's up, Peter Venkman fan site? Oh, crap. What did I just throw at the floor? Oh, the battery. I gotta get the battery. It's on the floor now. Oops. Uh-oh. Hey, did you guys see the direction? Oh, excuse me. Okay, I found it. I found the battery, and look at the turtle. Look, she's swimming. Her stepsister's still kind of quiet, but whatever. All right, let's see if we can get this. Now, the lighting is a little bit questionable right now. Oh, did that help? Did that actually help? Oh, yeah, it did help a little bit. Look at that. Right, good. Right? So, this is like an episode of How They Do That. Today, on How They Do That. First, you take this screwdriver and make sure it meshes, because you will strip the screw if it's not. But in this case, it does mesh. Now, maybe I should put the Game Boy, the camera on an angle like this, so that you guys can kind of see better what I'm doing. So this happens to be a Phillips head. Stop being short. That's utilitarian unless you're Mario. So I'm just going to do the battery now. Now, charging is another story, but I will find the charger sooner than later because I do want to test it out. But here's the old battery, and you can see it's kind of puffy. So now I got to take this battery and stick it in water. I'm kidding. Don't put it in water. You got to cut it open and then stick it in water. I promise it will totally explode. But jokes aside, yeah, lithium batteries, yeah, kind of dangerous when they're in this state. Don't mess around with them. Be ready to throw them out or something. So now, the new battery, well, logically, we want the terminals to line up with the terminals, right? And there's a couple of little plastic notches here. And it looks like it's that simple. And it's already pretty clean in there. Is that missing it? What is that? Oh, shit, that's cool. Hold on, let me look at something here. Oh, no. Oh, yeah, okay, what? That looks like a potentiometer. This is something that you can adjust. Don't adjust it. Don't put a screwdriver in this hole and do not turn it. But this might do something to how the screen operates. Or it might do something to the brightness. Or it might change something completely different. So don't do it. And just in case the device gets wet in shipping, I want to show you that the sticker is not wet. This has not been immersed in water. So if you get this and it's red down here, it's not because of me. And if you have to do a warranty claim on it, make sure you buy a pack of water, stickers online so you can replace the stickers in case. I think that when they started selling those for people who wanted to get warranties claims on their phone, they'd bring it to the phone place, put a new sticker on it, and call it a day. Heck, I had those stickers turn red from just humidity, but also I dropped that phone in the toilet once, and it survived, but still, in the past, I got pretty lucky dropping phones in the toilet. Okay. Now, I don't really think I should turn it on, but we're going to try to turn it on real quick. Okay, it does turn on. See, I don't really want to turn it on because I don't want to mess up the battery. I know once I turn it on, I really should charge the battery sooner than later. Needs a little. Okay, so this is my flash cartridge. How do I make this brighter? Okay, so this is the one with the screen that's this bright. Got it. All right, so let's go to NES. Wait, how can you play NES on a Game Boy? Well, I have a special Game Boy. Oh, these are recent games. Okay. So, really, I would try to find Super Mario. I gotta first find... Here we are. And we use the L and R keys, so I'm pressing L and R right now to go down one page. And we're going to pick a simple game. I always mix up Super Mario Brothers, but here we are. Okay, then it says clean boot. Now, sometimes when you load a Game Boy game or a Game Boy Advance game, it actually has a thing that patches the boot or something like that. And basically what it does is it lets you do save states. So I can do save states on Game Boy games that otherwise wouldn't have save states on them. So that's pretty clutch, right? So now, I think we should turn off the lights. Let's get it on. Excuse me. Okay, that'll have to do for now. I think that'll do. Nice warm color temperature. Or let me just switch to my background so that I can stand up in my boxes. Hey Google, never mind. Hey Google, light red. All right. Oh, I forgot my wall is I need to turn on my light to get the wall to be green. Oh, I don't have to, but I do like to have that. Okay, let's try that again. All right, good. Now, I think that'll be fine. All right, so we're gonna get that in focus for the Game Boy. We can even bring it a little closer for you. See, I wanted you to see me clicking the buttons, but no big deal. All right, here we are. So here, let me show you a couple of tricks here. On this particular flash cartridge, if I press pause or L and R, ah crap, my screen flipped down on me. All right, let me just get this in a position again. All right, so I pressed the L and R buttons at the same time, right? So, let's start focus. Okay, so notice we got Cheat Finder. I have no idea how to use this. It seems to scan memory addresses. Hey, what's up, Ann Gaming? I see you. My DSi needs a new battery. Your DSi needs an app store. Seriously, I have a DSi, and I remember I found out I could have modded it, but in order to mod it, I needed to have access to the app store because there was a particular game that was known to have known to have a bug that could be exploited, and because I got to the party late. So I had a garbage bag that was falling. Because I got to the party late, I couldn't download that app from the App Store. But if I could download that app from the App Store, I could have basically done something that would have allowed me to modify the device. And once you modified the software, you'd be able to download other crap. So that's the thing. Like, once you can get one app in, that's often how a soft mod goes. You need to be able to get one app working. And as long as that one app allows you to get another app working, usually the next app is going to be something like an FTP server. Like on the original Xbox, you mod the original Xbox by getting a game save that works with certain games or a certain game, like Mech Assault. And then when you load that game save, the screen goes blank, you see some text on the screen, and next thing you know, you're in Linux. It says like loading Linux. And then a second later, you got like a different menu on your Xbox. And in that different menu, there are settings that allow it to connect to a home network. So if it's connected to your router, it's connected to your network. It gets an IP address assigned automatically, or you dial one in, and boom, you can use any computer on that same network to FTP into that Xbox and upload and download crap from it. So I'd imagine something like that, maybe not quite, but similar on the 3DS, or on the 3DS I have, I'm talking about DSi, but on the 3DS I have, you can literally run RetroArch, but the RetroArch menu system is far less intuitive on that tiny little screen. Running RetroArch on a desktop, like, even though it's still kind of cumbersome, I think it has so many powerful features. I don't really mind the way it works on a desktop, but on a handheld, yeah. Yeah, and it's funny, Game Gear Goddess says, emulators, ah! Oh shit, the chat's not on the screen. Let's get the chat back on screen. I love that dinosaur face, I really do. Lady Mist uses it sometimes too. I think it's hilarious. There we go. We got our illustrious chat, including the dinosaur emulators. Ah! I can't change the color, and I won't change the color. Okay, so anyway, this is going to be Wade's Game Boy here. I got a Game Boy Micro, so I'm a happy camper. Like, I mean, look at that. Oh, okay. See, the screen on mine is much bigger. I'm kidding. But okay, so what I want to show you is over here on the display, because here's the problem. The size of the screen on a TV versus a Game Boy, even Game Boy Advanced, is not the same. I mean, the resolution is different. So what are our options? Well, first of all, let's see if we can get the angle of this light better. You know what I mean? Like, this lighting angle is just awful. It's like if I had like a piece of I don't know, something to put over the screen here, I can get this to be perfect. I guess I'll use my hand. It'll be a job for my hand to do. Huh. Okay. So this is really the important thing up here where it says display, scaled, background, full. So how do we use this? You press A. Now it says scaled and object. So what I want you to pay attention to, there we go. This is full, unscaled. So what good is unscaled? Like, how the hell do you use this? Well, basically you press the L and R buttons. And do you guys want to hear the music? Can you hear me and the music at the same time? Or is the music being filtered out as it should be? Oops. Okay, so L and R. So this is R. This is L. R. L. So how do you play it? Well, basically you might say, okay, well, I don't need to see the scoreboard right now. So you might scroll it down. And realistically, if you scroll it down just enough, you see just enough of the ground that in theory you're good, right? You know? I could play it like this. Although not like this. I mean, I'm literally pressing on it with my fingers right now. But in theory, how far can I get using it like this? Pretty far. But let's try something else out. You ready for an alternative? What is the alternative? Well, and I apologize for the focus on this. The focus is always a little sketchy on the edge of the frame. It's just the way it is. It's like the Tupac song. That's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't sing well. You should know this, people. Don't expect me to sing. You don't come here for me to sing. Or maybe you do. Like the reason people watch that first guy on American Idol. All right, so let's check out the alternatives now. Ready? Display. Okay, so check this out. Unscaled follow sprite. This one you control by using these hex codes down here, I believe. I don't really know how that works. I've messed with it a little bit. Had some weird results when I did it. Secondly, background in full object. And in one of these modes, you'll actually see, like, okay, so in this one, I think the sprite changes size. I'm trying to remember how this works here. So in one of these, Mario changes, but not the background. In this one, you can't really tell. But you can see in two of these, the background shapes change more than the rest. So let me think. Unscaled, scaled, follow sprite, background, scaled, background, full sprite, or full object, and then scaled background and object. So really, I should be standing on the ground to show you this part, because I think that's the problem, is that it's hard to see at this level of detail. So I'm going to try it again. I'm going to try taking Mario. Oh, crap. Okay. So first thing I'm going to do is this. I'm going to actually exit this. Scroll down here. Then we're going to go to display again. I think you can see it. Let me try it. Yeah. Okay, good. I got it. Okay, so take a good look at Mario. All right, ready? I'm going to press him once. There you go. See what happened to his head here? I'll do it again. So in one of these modes, you have the full sprite and the full screen. But when I press the button once, watch what happens to his hat. I'm going to do it in 3, 2, 1. And then you can see like his mustache and his hat changes. So in one of these modes, it alters the sprite significantly. Whereas in the other modes, it depends. But, you know, I don't know what the right way is. It's just a matter of what you're comfortable with. So depending on the game, sometimes I'll go unscaled and I'll just do this. But to be honest, as much as I'm really a stickler for good aspect ratio, I'm kind of tolerant of just mushing the image down on here so that everything fits. I'm not crazy about it all the time. It depends on the game. But sometimes it's just a lot more practical to play a game like this than it is to try to play a game like this by panning up and down, you know? I mean, like, you could. Sometimes it's fine, depending on the game. In fact, ironically, if you ever played Mario DX on a Game Boy Color, this is partially how it works. In Game Boy DX, you use the up and down buttons on the D-pad to control, you know, this aspect of it. This aspect of it, the up and down. So, it's good to have options. And frankly, being able to play NES on a Game Boy, you know, Advanced SP, that I better charge the batteries on before I ship it to Wade, because I do want to test it out, make sure the battery holds the charge. This is the device I actually use this cartridge in. So this is the Easy Flash Omega. It has a little itty bitty SD card in there with my, you know, choice of games on there. I've uploaded new games on it while I was at work. And of course, this one here. Ooh, that's bright. It's really bright. It's bright like me. Hi-yo! Okay. Oh man, I'm playing that Gundam game for PlayStation. But same menu, same concept, and, you know, once again, like, with such an itty-bitty screen, maybe it makes sense. Also, I find the L and R's to be easy to access. It's a Mario. It's a Mario! Just use a PSP. Ew, I'm not using a PSP. PSPs are, like, disappointment to me. I have 2 PSPs as well, and maybe, like, years ago, I couldn't afford to buy the hard drive upgrade for the PSP, but that's all I wanted was, like, to get, like, the 4 gigabyte ribbon cable or flex cable that has a 4 gigabyte micro drive on it. That was, like, the first thing I wanted, because at the time, they didn't have those SD card memory card adapters. So for, like, years, even when it was kind of in its prime, you know, when the device was in its prime, it was still kind of, like, impossible to get, like, an affordable memory card for, or at least, you know, it was, like, a little bit inflexible in that regard. Nowadays, yes, if I resurrect my PSP, I hear I could do more with it, but I don't really need to, because, I mean, like, the only reason I would use a PSP in lieu of my Game Boy Advanced, Game Boy 3DS, is because, yeah, it probably is a lot better behaved when you need to copy data to it. Like, when I was at work one day, I wanted to add data to the SD card, and my Game Boy, I don't know what, I was using the computer at work, which is stupid of me, because, like, instead of using my own laptop, which has its own SD card slot, I'm using the, I'm using the freaking, memory card slot inside the Game Boy 3DS. And as it turns out, apparently it's notorious for corrupting memory cards. Like, it's notorious for corrupting the data on said memory card. So even though technically I still have the mod, I don't have any of the apps that were originally on that memory card. Like, I don't know where to begin. I gotta figure that out. I don't think I have to redo the entire mod, but I at least have to redo the portion of the mod that involves apps on the freaking memory card. Like, ROMs, I can re-download, sure. That's relatively trivial, but that's minor nuisance. Now, beyond that, you, at least at one point, your friend LCX Game Gear Goddess was, you know, somewhat sponsored or whatever, at least had a partnership where you can go to his website, buy a handheld game console, and you might get a little bit of the piece of the action, or your friend L might. And those products were pretty cool. Those are pretty cool handhelds. I'm still thinking about buying one of the, like, $50, $60, $70 versions of those handhelds. You know, because I'd rather buy one of those than rely on a PSP. Like, that's where my mind space is at now. Like I'm just, like, I'm over the PSP. Like, look, PSP was so cool back in the day, too. I even had a friend, he was going to sell me a fucking, or give me a good deal on a fucking Vita. And I couldn't imagine it. Why would I want a Vita? Like, what the fuck is a Vita for? Like, that's like, what is it, a PSP that wants to be a smartphone and is better than a PSP? I mean, I don't know, it confused me. Maybe I'm being a boomer here. Maybe I'm getting old. Use BrainLink. See? That's the spirit. Awesome one. That's what I'm talking about. How am I supposed to use BrainLink on a PSP? But jokes aside, I mean, you give me that. This is a conversation worth having before we conclude today's show. Game Gear. Funny you mention that. So last week I traded in 5 heart containers and 5 6 AA batteries, and the Game Gear Goddess bestowed upon me an AC adapter for my Game Gear. So apparently, if you give the Game Gear Goddess 6 AA batteries, she gives you a power adapter. But jokes aside, where the hell are they? I gotta find it. I have something cool. Where is it? Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? I can't find it all of a sudden. I had it right here. Oh, here it is. Wait, is that it? Huh. As they say in the beginning of the opening for El Show, okay, I can't do the high pitch sound, but you know what I'm talking about. Okay. PS Vita has PS3 level graphics, but on a lower resolution screen, which actually is fine because, you know, and in fairness, I don't have any leg to stand on when it comes to PS Vita. I could bitch and moan about the PSP all day, but the PS Vita, I really got nothing on it, to be honest. In fact, it seems that it may have potential, and I hear that it actually had quite the renaissance when homebrew started really kicking into high gear on the PS Vita. So, in fairness, the PlayStation Vita, yeah, probably a kick-ass device. Hey, what's up, Boris? We should raid you. So anyway, check this out, awesome one. Do you recognize what this is? It's my Game Gear capacitor kit. So all I gotta do is find one of my 2 Game Gears. The Game Gear that I took apart when I was a kid, and the Game Gear I bought on eBay. I bought a Game Gear on eBay some years ago because when I was a kid, I took apart my brother's Game Gear, and back then I was kind of stupid. So I felt like once you took something apart, it was impossible to put together. Even though in reality, if you just lay all the screws out on a table, you can pretty much figure out how to put anything back together. It's really not that hard most of the time, like, unless there's like some specialized component. But generally speaking, even if I'm missing a screw. But if you keep all the screws together, more or less, like, I had different methods when I took things apart. Sometimes I would take a piece of paper, draw an outline of all of the holes where the screws go, tape the screws to the piece of paper so that when I need to put something back together, I have a piece of paper that acts like a little blueprint that tells me where to put everything back. So yeah, this is a Game Gear capacitor kit. I haven't even opened it. I mean, like, I don't really need to, but I'll open it real quick just for fun. And the reason this is important is capacitors are the first component to go bad. I mean, not the first component, but these are the main reason why Game Gears have problems. Electrolytic capacitors, they're a bit like batteries, except they build up a charge and then release it, you know, at a defined amount. These have ratings like 10 microfarads, 100 microfarads, 5 volts, 50 volts. Even, you know, though you can run off 6 AA batteries or a 9-volt power adapter. It's basically, you know, obviously your amps are low, your volts are high. You know, it's different ways that these things work. But the gist of it is a lot of these capacitors are responsible for driving the LCD display. And you can see this one here came off of a cassette, a tape. This is actually a piece of cardboard tape so that the machines in the factories can kind of pluck them and place them on the boards. But since we only need one, somebody just kind of ripped it off of a sheet and stuck it in a bag. And so if you follow instructions or tutorial online on how to fix your Game Gear, it's basically going to tell you where to put each and every one of these capacitors that are clearly labeled. And if you didn't have these bags, you could buy the capacitors on your own and match up the information on the side. Like, this is a good capacitor to use because it's nice and big and easy to read. But you can see here it says, it has a company name. It says 105 degrees Celsius. It's got B1722, and it actually has no information on it. Here we are. 6.3, 820 microfarad. And look at that. It says 820 at 6.3 volts. So realistically, you just have to look at the heat shrink. This is basically heat shrink on the outside of a capacitor. And get the numbers you want. And so as long as you order like a complete like set of capacitors that match the list, you're good. But what's good about this capacitor kit, in my opinion, was that you're getting all the capacitors that you need. You don't have to worry about matching them up. My biggest concern is, like, sometimes when you buy a certain component, you find out that the component is larger or smaller than the one that fits in your device. So you find out that maybe you were supposed to get one that was shorter or taller. So maybe one day I buy a capacitor that's kind of fat and stubby that has the same rating as this one. Whereas after the fact, what, am I going to reorder the capacitor? It depends. I really don't know, to be honest. But I know sometimes when you're ordering electronics, it can be hard to match things up. And maybe it's okay to pay a premium. Although, to be honest, I don't know how much of a premium I paid on this. I'm sure it would be cheaper to get the capacitors, but I'm also willing to pay a little bit extra for somebody to save me time in locating the part. You know what I mean? So that's the capacitor kit for my Game Gear. And just like my regular Famicom NES, one of these days I'd like to own a flash cartridge for both devices. But just putting the capacitors in the Game Gear would be kind of like nice to see how it runs. So yeah, but the game, like I said, the PSP, like, there were things I liked about it. But from what I can figure, the 3DS I have now is better. So there's no reason for me to really want to lean towards a Sony device with emulators on it. unless I absolutely want to run PSP games. Like if I find a PSP game that I want, like they got a good Gundam game, okay, then yeah. But at that point, I'd imagine it would run good on my PC, and it would probably run good on whatever handheld devices that other company makes. You know what I'm talking about. It probably would run fine on one of those, right? On one of the better models. I know even Super Nintendo struggles unless you get one of the better model handheld devices. Oh, wow. So they got Katamari on PlayStation Vita? That would be a good time. Until I came home and learned that my brother tore it up to see what it looked like inside. Well, he didn't know for years, or I don't know if he knew. Anyway, that's why. But it doesn't matter. His capacitors would have gone bad anyway, so I don't have to feel guilty about that one at least. At least in that case, I don't need to feel guilty. Other cases, maybe I do feel guilty, but not that one. It's a Mario. Oh, yeah, I read that already. Tell us a Jive Turkey poem, Mario. It's a me, Mario, and you gotta go to the rude boy and tell him to go get going. I know, that's all I got. That's like a mix of Italian and Jive. Sometimes the way the PCB is mounted is tricky. Yes, you're right, Game Gear Goddess. So with that, I'm not too worried, but it is something that when I was younger, it probably was what got me intimidated. But these days, I've learned that as long as the wires that you need are long enough and you can wedge it in the right place, you're good. But it is true that I've seen some creative designs where like the play buttons on the front panel of a CD player, and when you move that front panel, the flex cable or the wires that connect to the LEDs are just long enough for you to rip them apart by accident. So, oh, your brother. Huh. What did he tear up? I had a Game Gear. Your brother took it apart too. Ha! Your brother and my brother, I mean, me and your brother did the same thing to our brother's Game Gears, except that I don't think I got in trouble for it. But, you know, my brother only ever owned 2 games. He got a Game Gear. He had the baseball game, Sonic, and Terminator 2. And then eventually he got Sonic Chaos. And for the entire run, he basically had those 4 games for his Game Gear. And as much as we love Terminator, realistically, it was basically like, fuck baseball. Terminator could be fun sometimes, but it was really just Sonic 2 and Sonic Chaos that we played on his device. And that was like 90% of what his Game Gear did was play those 2 games. You know, when you get tired of Sonic 2, you play Sonic Chaos. There's a nice change of pace. Yeah, so I do wonder if the capacitors were affected by disuse. Like, in my case, Game Gear Goddess, did you play your Game Gear on and off for 30 years? Because I'm wondering if, and actually, I don't know if the capacitors in my brother's Game Gear are bad. I just know I was so confused about whether or not I had all the parts that I just ordered another one on eBay, figuring that I'd have an easier time getting that working. And when the screen was garbage, that's when I did research and found out about the capacitor kit. So I ordered a capacitor kit. Now, changing capacitors could still help the performance to some extent. In the case of my Windows CE device, I question if the screen on here was faded. I don't think the screen was faded on here, but I did find out if you leave this type of screen exposed to UV light, that sometimes does take a toll on the display. So, you know, just another thing to be aware of. So anyway, that's something to play with, and I don't think I have much to add right now. Let's see if I can do something real quick that's fun. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna try something fun if I can find a picture to browse for that is appropriate as opposed to inappropriate. Oh, we got a picture. Okay, here we are. Okay, so I'm trying to remember what color did we use. I forgot what color background we used for the turtles. I think it was this one. We're gonna use this one. All right, so we're gonna take a look at Snow's pixel art app. You don't think Snow would mind if I showed this, right? I know I said I was going to wait to ask permission, but I think we should do this as one last thing. Because Snow did recommend drawing the little turtle next to the turtles. This was drawn by LCX. Well, not with the pixels. We're adding pixels to it right now. So our friend Snow here has this app, and I believe the way it works is you pick the grid, and you say apply, and boom, we got pixel art. And looks like it's not really fitting on my screen, but I don't want to go on my ultra. In fact, should I be? Oh, I see. It's because it's a high resolution picture, maybe. I'm a little confused. Oh, here we are. I got it now. So I'm still learning how to navigate this too. There we go. And then you can do modifications to it, so you can zoom in on it and edit the pixel art. Or in this case, we're gonna maybe do something different. We can download as is. We can zoom in and out this way. We could do enable pencil. We could draw on top of it if we want. We can erase pixels. We can use an eyedropper if we want. So we can say Alt click. Okay, so we'll take the eyedropper, and then there we go. See, we got dark green. So you can do editing to the pixel art here. She has this beautiful theme of the. Oh wait, that's interesting. Let's open this in Chrome. Let's open it in Chrome because I think the Firefox version. I think opening it in Firefox might cause. Okay, this is how it looks in Chrome. So let me just make sure when I hit browse file that it doesn't open up the prawn folder. Okay, good, it didn't. And we're gonna do another picture of turtles. Oh man, I gotta show a cool Star Trek video next week. In fact, we're gonna open up a picture of ball lightning. Because so yeah, we got the Pro, Bro, and Glow theme, and this kind of pink and cute, right? But anyway, you see, and that's interesting. Look at that. It resized the borders when you move the grid around. I didn't expect that. It's kind of cool. But let's go and do like a really blocky grid. Oh, that's a bit more blockier than I care for. Now, I think every time you do this, you got to like start over. So if I click cancel. Oh, good. If I click cancel, it goes back. Okay. So we can do 8x8, apply. And you can do, you know, cancel again. 4x4, apply. And, you know, you still got your pixel art, right? And you can still modify if you want. So if you want to draw like whatever you want to draw in there, you could. So maybe I want to draw like a happy face. Oh, that looks like a spermie. It looks like a sperm. And then let's draw an egg. Let's draw an egg. We're gonna draw an egg now. So I guess an egg would be like blue or purple. So okay, this is the egg. And this is a zygote. So let's draw a goat. Okay, I know it's not really a pretty good looking goat right there. But that's a zygote. And then this is a, you know, he's gonna get in there and he's gonna get that egg inseminate. Okay, I'm sorry, that's nasty. But anyway, it's an example of the possibilities. Let's get one more picture now that I've done something nasty with a. I found a way to make it dirty when talking about ball lightning. Ooh, a picture of me and my tortoise. Right? So we're going to do what? 4x4, apply. Ah, crap. Oh, there we go. Okay, so that's what I look like. Oh, crap. My mouse is scrolling. Okay, so now we're going to do 8x8. And that's what my tortoise looks like when you pixelate him. Oh, crap, it's scrolling. It's the way my mouse works. There we go. See? And that's what my tortoise looks like pixelated. So, did you guys learn anything today? Yeah, I'll put a smiley face. He's got purple eyes. Nasty. Yeah, what's so nasty? Early morning tomorrow. Good night. All right. I'm going to wrap up too, Lady Mist. But you have a good night, Lady Mist. And thank you for tuning in. It was good seeing you at Pacific 414 stream. And you have a wonderful sleep cycle. And you get going, and you get going now. And sleep well, pleasant dreams, and all of the good things. Took a pic of a local burger joint. Oh, did you? Did you? Where can I find a pic of a local burger joint? Are you telling me to look up a pic of a local burger joint, like on your YouTube, so that I can read a post that says Borgar? Because I know Borgar is like all the craze in our corner of the internet. I don't know if that's like Filipino burger, like Borgar. Oh, Elle had Jollibee. Oh yeah, I've never had Jollibee. Elle had Jollibee for dinner, which means I've been smelling phantom fries for the past hour. Not complaining, just wondering if this was what long-distance relationships with food feel like. Also, I hear McDonald's is disgusting, so I guess I'll keep my long-distance love affair with Jollibee going. Aw, that's very heart-touching. I had some diner fries today myself. I had a Southern burger that had a mushroom and Swiss on it. I was this close to buying a bison burger, but thought better of it. Nothing wrong with it. I just thought better of it. The sun is gonna impregnate us. Yeah, what I was doing in that picture before, awesome one. And the image is still 10 megabytes as opposed to 500K. Maybe, I don't know. Does it say how big the picture is? I didn't download the picture, so we don't know. It might be, depends. I wonder. That's something we could explore sometime. Cool. I will look into Discord. But in the meantime, let's see how big the picture is that we download. 187 kilobytes Slim Nim, which I don't think is entirely inappropriate for the image. But here's the question. What is the resolution of the picture? Well, one, I may have cropped the picture a bit. Oh, you know what? I think it, I'm not even sure. I think it, like, did some funny business here. Yeah, it did some funny business here. What's the properties on this image? (2144 by 2144). So it's got a pretty high resolution detail. And I'm not even sure where the margin is on this picture. Actually, I think this is it. 2144 by 2144. So there's a bunch of white space. So this picture is a little confusing. There's a bunch of white space around it. I have to play around with the app and see how it's handling the way pictures are handled. So we'll get back. We'll explore that a little bit more. In the meantime, before I wrap up, I'm gonna pull up my Discord and see if I can get a message. Ooh, Frank's and Burgers. All right. Why is Discord not offering to turn on streamer mode? You ever do that? You ever open up OB? Oh, here it is. Streamer mode is enabled. Well, that's funny. It's still showing everyone's name. I thought streamer mode is supposed to hide people's names so that I'm not doxing people. Why does it only do it for certain people? Like, how does that even work? Okay, whatever. I'm just being paranoid. Guys. Don't worry. Huh. All right, give me a second here. Top screen. Where's my top screen? All right, there we go. I was just cropping my screen so that I don't show any private information. All right, so here goes nothing. So this is a burger. Orc says McDonald's is disgusting. Meh. Order two burgers. I showed on my stream later. I'll order the Big Mac cheeseburger tomorrow. Yeah, man, I would eat McDonald's. McDonald's isn't always the best. Burger King, I think, is nice, but I mean, you know, it's like not the worst, right? You know what I mean? It's a fucking fast food joint. It's not like supposed to be like, you know, great cuisine. All right. So in this one here, we got some kind of panda. Is that Panda Express? Yum Panda. We got Yum. Oh, is that Rum Panda? Is that how Rum Panda gets its name? Yum Panda? Is it from Yum Panda? Or is this literally a Rum Panda franchise location after all? And you can literally go and get rum and Chinese food together. That would be cool. But I'm gonna guess the burger joint is behind the yellow bars to the right. That's pretty cool. So we got these videos of people getting all ratchet trying to choke out the fast food staff. But apparently in this country, you can't choke the fast food staff unless you're really good at grabbing between the bars. So that's kind of like a nice safety feature, I think. You know, I like that. I think it's good that we can keep them safe. Now, in this one here, we got the best buns in town. You know how many people got offended by that? Who remembers that when some company had a t-shirt that said, "We have the best buns in town," and people got so offended over it? Like, get a life. Like, maybe they do make the best buns in town. How do you know? They didn't say the best buns in the world, right? Parrotnoid. Parrotnoid. But yeah, so a lot of buns here. Wonder how many buns they go through, and how do the buns stay fresh if they don't use them all in one day? Preservatives? And I guess that's the burger cooking machine right here. I guess they got an ultra compact burger cooking machine. That's kind of cool. All right, now we got a menu, which might be a little sexist because it's not. Why do they have a menu but not a woman you? It sounds like they're talking or an old CB on an old CB saying play overpowered to the max, bouncing off the hillside next one. What sounds like that? Do I sound like that? I hope not. But oh yeah. Wait, what? Is my sound looping back? You get me worried, Slim Lim. I don't know if you talk about my sound is bad or not, but I feel like I gotta check now. Your chat messages make me paranoid. Although they're not on screen right now, so I can't show you. There we go. See, that's what Slim Lim said. Color grading is way off my right monitor. Sound on? Oh! Wait a second. My robot voice. Oh! No, this is not on purpose. When did the echo start, guys? When did it start? This hasn't been the whole show, has it? Because I know what's causing it. I just want to know if it's been the whole show. Was it the whole time or just now? I hear it too. I do hear it. It's kind of funny. Oh, I see what happened here. Testing 1, 2. That's what you're hearing, right? You're hearing a robot voice. I'm a robot. I have a robot vagina. All right, I'm gonna turn my voice off now, and I'm gonna kill voice mod because this software I need to work on it. There's something going on with voice mod. Oh, good. It started with Discord. Okay, is it normal yet? If it's not normal, I'll fix it. But I just want to know. I closed the voice mod. That's funny. Devices. Connections. Oh, I see. It doesn't want me to look at the settings while I'm in streaker mode. Oh, wait. We'll just mute the microphone. How is this, guys? Is it better now? Is this improved? I'll check. Oh, good. It's back. That's just very funny. I'm listening to myself. Right? You know what I mean? It's a fucking fast food joint. It's not like supposed to be like, great cuisine. All right? So in this one here, we got some kind of panda. Is that Panda Express? Yum Panda. We got Yum. Oh, is that Rum Panda? Is that how Rum Panda gets his name? Yum Panda? Is it from Yum Panda? Or is this literally a Rum Panda franchise location after all? And you can literally go and get rum. Okay. So it seems that doing it in Discord. So we were looking at the menu. Okay, let's get back to the menu. So apparently, like, having Discord doing that on, I don't know, somehow it's patching in my voice mod. So only thing I don't like about this is these look really red. Like, I feel like there should be less red. Like, I want these hot dogs to look more like, I don't know, like someone shat on them. Like at Nathan's. Like, if you go to Nathan's in Brooklyn, the hot dogs look like somebody took a dump on them. Let's take a look at Nathan's hot dogs here. Nathan's, Brooklyn, Coney Island. They make this fucking shithole. Yeah, I said it. I said it. But jokes aside, let's see if we get a menu for Nathan's. Like, they got a delicatessen, which is just a fancy way of saying deli. See, those hot dogs look like they came out of the street, gutter water. That's how I want my hot dogs. And the fries, they look like they were made with the gutter grease from, the restaurant recycling place. So, that's how I want my fries. But these here, actually, I'm not gonna lie, I probably would be craving one of these for breakfast, especially if 38 Filipino pesos or 48 Filipino cents or whatever those are. Yeah, that does look like good breakfast, not gonna lie. I don't care if that that looks good. That's a chili dog, just like Sonic the Hedgehog in the 90s cartoon would love chili dogs. And jokes aside though, the burger patty, it looks like it's got like a lot of ketchup on it and like a little bit of beef in the middle. Like, look at that. It's like alternating layers of beef, ketchup, beef, but it's probably just about as good as a McDonald's burger, if not better. So is it better than McDonald's, Ellen? What do you think? Did you know Nathan's hot dog store tastes worse than from the store? I don't doubt it for a second. In a way, there is a certain authenticity to the ones straight from the actual location in Coney Island. But, they're recycling the same water or grease or whatever all day. So sometimes that adds character to the thing, and other times it kind of makes it eh. But depending on how much hot. So I'm looking. Yeah, it's okay. Let's check out the rest of the place here. So I was looking at the menu. I was trying to be cautious, zooming out, not showing the inside of the Discord chat. Oh, it's just not doing it as a slideshow. Okay, so you're going to send a pic of it now. But so far we got Frank's. And it's funny, there was actually a sign on the Brooklyn BQE. Frank's Hot Dogs billboard. This bald guy here. So see this bald guy here? He looks like a big baby. This guy was on like a billboard on the Gowanus Expressway in Brooklyn years ago, and they've long since got rid of his billboard, but it was like painted on the side of a building. It wasn't this shit. No, it was actually on the Gowanus, and I can't find a picture of it at the moment, but I just know that when I started my current job, I couldn't find his billboard for the life of me. Oh, that's so lame. Hot dogs can wreck your health. Well, if you're eating hot dogs all the time, I think that's kind of like a you problem. You know what I mean? But let's welcome Mosaic. See, this is also from the Gowanus Expressway. This old street sign is still there. This is oh yeah, found it. This thing. When I was a kid and we'd go to Chinatown, I would always see this on the road. See, look at that shit. Always on the way to Chinatown. Or anytime we were on the Gowanus Expressway. And ever since I started my current job, I used to go looking for this sign. I used to go looking. I'd be like, where the fuck is it? And I couldn't find it. But now that I see this picture, I can at least match up these surroundings to figure out where it used to be. But my guess is they either painted over it or a new building was built on top of it. I think that's what happened. I think a new building was built next to it or something, or it was outright demolished. I figure or they put a new facade on the building. But at least now I know what I'm looking for, right? So yeah, and Red Wing Shades, that sounds kind of nasty. But jokes aside, I'm not even sure if this is the original billboard or if they updated it, because it's got a guy holding a shoe here now. I feel like this is an updated one. Frankel's. It's not Frank's, it's Frankel's. So I think that's the old hot dog ad. And this is a new one, maybe? I don't know. Is this a Photoshop job? I'll have to figure this out. But I distinctly remember the bald guy. Let's get back to the pictures before we wrap up. I just want to share that with you guys real quick. And I'm going to bookmark that, and I'll figure out where the hell I can find Frankel's some other time. All right. Oh, yeah. We got I was sending us pictures of buns. So right over here. And Orc says McDonald's is disgusting. Yeah, okay, so what you're saying is this, are you asserting that this might be more disgusting than McDonald's? Or that this might be more questionable than McDonald's? Or that it's better than McDonald's? Because, I mean, that's a big, is that a piece of bacon? And is it a piece of raw bacon? I'm going to guess that's mayo or fat. Mayo and ketchup usually, right? That's usually how we do this, right? And then we click on this one. Okay, the cheese looks all right. The bun's not toasted though, so you're gonna get some, like, you know, flakiness onto the thing. That's expected. Okay, so somebody's just gotta, like, use your imagination, right? When you bite into a burger, like me, I don't like mixing ketchup with mayonnaise, but if I'm not aware of it and I eat it, I can ignore it. I can look past it. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna be like, I'm returning this fucking burger. Like, I just can't witness the crap being mixed together before my very eyes. Am I right? Am I right, Tommy? Hey, what's up, Tommy? Shout out to Tommy and the Guinea Pig Collective. We were watching my turtles before, Tommy, because I saw my Squirtle. She was sleeping, and I was like, she hadn't moved for like an hour, so I started worrying that Squirtle was dead. I was like, is she dead? I was like, move, girl, move. And I'm sitting there staring at the screen like this. I'm like, please move. And then she moved her head. I was like, oh. That's a cheese slice on top. Okay, so that's also cheese. Oh, okay. Now this makes sense. Okay. So in this picture here, we are looking at a cheese slice that's kind of rolled over a little bit with some mayo and ketchup on it, I guess, right? Or maybe that's just the cheese is melted with ketchup on it. But that's definitely a cheese slice. Got it. Then in this picture here, we got a cheese slice, but on a cheese slice, we got these little pieces of breadcrumbs. Which is not a problem, just that's what I'm seeing, you know what I mean? And underneath the cheese slice, I see we got ketchup there. And how was it? Was it good? Was it bad? So what's your review here, Game Gear Goddess? You know, I know that Orc said, you know, just bring it back full circle here. I think what you're getting at is that Orc is a little bit off by saying that McDonald's is disgusting. Is it that you feel he has never seen Jolly Jollibee? Like, I just want to confirm what the thesis here is. That is this what we're like exploring, that while Orc believes that McDonald's is disgusting, you believe you found something that ups the ante? Is that basically what the lesson here is? Our small friends will do that to us to get us worried. I know, right? Jeez. You tell me about it, Tommy. I know. But that's all good. I knew the turtles, they slowed down a lot, so I was reasonably confident they were fine. But, you know, I still want to, like, you know, like, I've heard people, they talk about the tortoises falling asleep for, like, days on end, and that gets people a little bit on edge. But apparently, like, they would be on the verge of burying their turtle, and then the turtle would be like, I'm here. It's just cheese and a patty. It's mayo and ketchup. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, it's a normal burger then, right? Like, a Big Mac is, of course, better, right? A Big Mac, it's like, you got the bun, you got the beef patty, you got the cheese. I guess you put some pickles on top of that. Onions, diced onions. Then you got that little piece of bread that's double-sided, right? You know, it's not a bun or a bottom. It's just a piece of bread that goes in the middle. Then you got another burger patty. All right, is that the anatomy of a Big Mac? Let's see here. Oh, yeah, look at that. So, I was kind of right. I mean, you know, I know my Big Macs. What the fuck is this? Okay, so here we are. What are you trying to say? That oh, they're trying to say how many miles the fucking food travel is great. It's probably some dumb climate change garbage. I don't really care how many miles my food travels as long as it gets here. Well, maybe I care a little bit. But anyway. Oh, I see. And then this is a presentation telling you how unhealthy it is. This is the same stuff they put in your shoes. Boo-hoo. Special sauce. I think it's ketchup, mayo, and something else. So bottom line is they actually put the lettuce and onions, I think, underneath the bun, the patty, and they put the cheese on top, and they kind of alternate it. You got some ketchup up there. I don't know if I think there's only one slice of cheese. I don't know. But honestly, it doesn't look too disgusting, right? It looks pretty good. I mean, I know it's not the paragon of healthy food, but it's basically good. Haven't eaten it. It shouldn't be too bad, but it's super low quality ingredients. Yeah, I agree about that. Like, it definitely looks cheap. On one angle, cheap food is like food that people can afford, right? You know what I mean? Like, that's like part of the 32 pesos is buy one, take one. Oh, buy one, get one free? That's cool. It's a great price. Just saying, there's worse stuff here that I don't even find disgusting. I hear you on that. Okay, got you. Now I understand. I just want to make sure I had you clear. So, yeah, I mean, like, look, like, in conclusion, McDonald's is not the paragon of healthy, but it's not that disgusting, all things considered. Who knows what the meat is? Yeah, I mean, it's like when they had the pink slime controversy, and I think it came down to the pink slime was some kind of ammonia product that was used to keep the burgers fresh for longer. I think there's a saying, the farther food travels, the more likely you're not getting fresh, healthy food. Well, yeah, you know, unless you freeze a bunch of beef on a train, I mean, right? That's what the whole Industrial Revolution was. The second Industrial Revolution. Get your cattle in Texas, put them on a refrigerator car, and shoo them to New York and Chicago for us city dwellers to have a good steak and a good burger. And, as long as they're frozen, they're good. Just like the bodies in that scene in Goodfellas. What's the craziest thing you've ever ordered just for yourself? One time I ordered a fish from a Mexican joint in Wildwood, New Jersey. And it was a whole fucking fish. Like, it was literally fish complete with scales and bones and everything. Just, like, right in the middle of the tray. Like, I was expecting, like, fish and nachos. I get a fish and nachos. And I had to figure out how to eat around the scales. It was very bizarre. The weirdest thing I've ever ordered in my life. Let me tell you. It was really bizarre. The egg burger sounds like it's got potential. I mean, especially for breakfast. Sometimes you want some meat with your breakfast. And that could be a nice to have. It really can be, So, that's pretty handy. Anyway, let's get a rating party going here. Let me see. Did I get any other pictures? Okay. So, the size of the burger to scale is about that big. So, to my reference there, I'd say the burger is about... Give me a second here. Yeah, oh, that's like that? That's like the make your own McDonald's burger at home. You ever see that one? Make your own McDonald's burger at home. I might be exaggerating a little bit here, but when I was a kid, they had this toy. They advertised it as make your own McDonald's burger at home, but it was really fucking mixed peanut butter and shit together. It was not a McDonald's burger. It was this. God damn.
Hello? Oh, God. Ooh. Ah, there we go.
You grind up the peanut butter.
It's all getting built up inside. Don't do this. Like, please.
Ew. Ew. He's putting chopped meat in there. Okay, you're not supposed to put chopped meat in here, but he's doing it. He's doing it. Oh. Oh.
Wound it directly onto the spatula, but I'm fairly certain that would go against the McDonald's hygiene standard. Literally just stuck it in there. But we do it better than the other bread, mate. Wow. So if I just roll that up, just kind of like smooth it a little bit, so we can potentially, let's just try this. I can actually... Oh, and I've got my plunger. It's just sort of playing around with it. Oh, look,
right.
And there it is on the box. We have...
All right, so that really didn't demonstrate how it really works, but here's the picture of it. So in the picture, I think you're supposed to mix chocolate milk with like peanut butter.
I am not using this one. It's just snacks that look like... Okay, so here's the completed maker. Pink instead of red, so I guess we'll have pink ketchup today. Now that we have our topping, we're gonna put a heaping teaspoon of peanut butter on. I'm gonna add some cereal. This doesn't look very appetizing. Okay, our catcher looks pretty full, so let's take it out. So here's a look at the meat. So let's pop it onto the spatula. Here it is. Yum. Okay, now we gotta bring it over to the fryer. Ooh, time to smash the meat. There's a little knob in the back to make the frying sound. Okay, let's see what we got. Whoa. So let's get out our bottom bun. Scoop the meat and put it on top. Now it's time to make some toppings. We're gonna use some fruit roll-ups. We need green, yellow, and red.
This is the deception of the 90s. They would sell you a toy that didn't do the thing that they made it look like it did on TV. And by the time you had it in your hand, you was just like, oh, I'm supposed to... It's like, what? That's kind of how that worked. Take note, I have small hands in general. Okay, so me matching my hand up with the screen might not be the best way to get the scale. So let's pretend my hand is slightly bigger. That's a smaller burger. That's okay, so it's about the size as the Kitty McDonald's burger, kind of. Let me measure the burger. Hold on, you still got the burger? Or are you going to use your hand for scale against the ruler? We're measuring burgers here. The hamburgers from fast food places tasted much different than today in the 70s. There's no lie in saying they are not 100% natural. I believe you, Tommy. Hell, I bet they were good in the early 90s too. But the 70s, yeah. I mean, like, it's like when they have those tax regulations with the sugar and high fructose corn syrup, and it's actually like there's a tax advantage to just over 3 inches in diameter. You gotta be kidding me. I guess not too bad. Let me think here. Okay, do I have my ruler? Hey Google, how many inches in diameter is a CD?
4.75 inch.
It's smaller than a CD.
CD is 120 millimeters, 4.75 inch in diameter and 1.2 millimeters thick. It is composed of a clear polycarbonate plastic substrate, a reflective metallic layer, and a clear protective coating.
Okay, it's about that big. It's about that big. Oh, I can't line it up with the screen. Cooked in seed oils today and lard back then. Lard. Lard's funny, but lard's probably, like, I guess healthier to cook in, probably. Yeah, I mean, it's an animal product. Probably is the best thing to cook in. And that is Frank's, not to be mistaken with Frankel's in Brooklyn. Frank's and burgers. Oh, it's like literally because they have Frankfurters and burgers. I get it. I get the naming. So how long are you going to keep that burger? And if you don't eat it today, can I have it? FedEx it to me, maybe? It's a diet burger. Is diet burger. Okay, well, that makes sense. It would have to be, I guess, if someone's trying to, reduce their portion, that would be the way to do it. Oh, my Lord. I wish I had that song, that sound clip where the guy goes, my Lord. Anyway. Yeah, I know someone plays it on their shows. But yeah, other than that, like I said, I did have a little bit of a editing thing, and that's what I forgot to show you guys. I gotta show you some space crap. So you know what? We'll do the space crap without audio. How does that sound to you people? So really all I was gonna show you is that I had my automated workflow working pretty well the other day. And you can see, like, it's doing the autofocus routine. It's getting the, focal point. It's catching the peaks. I'm in the corner of my own, VTuber model mode, right? And I did this while I was eating dinner. Like, I was able to fire it up, eat dinner, have it do these completely automated tasks. There we go. It plotted a V-curve. And then it took a picture of the nebula. And this was the Crescent Nebula. And I'm just kind of fast forwarding through DaVinci right now to see if anything comes up that's different. Ah, there we go. Look at that picture. Look how much sharper. So, is this the Crescent Nebula or the Veil Nebula? Because I see a nebula behind the Crescent Nebula. We can see the numbers jumping around. That's taking too long. Let me see if I can skip through manually. Okay, we got a nice star field, and then that was the last part. But where's the Veil Nebula? Oh, different video. Okay. Oh, a satellite trail. But yeah, I was able to record the whole session, and I was going to upload it, but I don't know. I was going to also do a demonstration of that today, but we are running out of time. So, let's see. Is there anything else? Krabby Patty Nebula. That's for the stream. Oh, cool. Aspartame burger. Yeah, well, they don't put aspartame in burgers, but they do put high fructose corn syrup in them because I don't think you can cook aspartame safely. Seriously, I think it turns into like ethyl alcohol or some shit like that. Cool. So if I get up early or on time tomorrow, I can watch L eat a burger, and it is indicated that LCX will eat the burger with a knife and fork to show the contents. Ooh, that's good. That's good. I definitely have to rewind that tape because the way I see it, that's a good way to get a cross section of that burger is to just slice it down in the middle and just reveal the actual layers. Am I right? Yeah, aspartame is apparently pretty bad stuff, and there's a hell of a story behind how it got, what do you call it, regulatorily, how it got the regulatory green light. But bottom line is, yeah, it is questionable stuff. All right, we're going to get Aris on screen. And he's going to play Need for Speed or Miku. Look, I voted in the poll. He had DDR Taiko Drum, Tahu or Muse Dash, Need for Speed or Miku. I'm sorry, this is my only issue with Aris's poll. Need for Speed or Miku. It's those could not be more different polar opposite games. You know what I mean? Like Miku, race car game or Miku. That's like two different games. But anyway, we're going to raid Aris. And if you vote in the poll, you can have a say on whether we play Need for Speed or Miku or Tahu or Muse Dash. The choice is yours. I got to play Muse Dash on stream. I should do that next week because it was suggested I download that game, and I did. I bought the game. I could play it. It's kind of fun, and I would love to stream that game. There's a fucking fly in my face. Okay. Sorry, there's a fly, little tiny fly. I remember working there and having nightmares, sweating in my sleep. No more Whoppers. No more Whoppers. I could picture myself doing the same thing there. Slim Nim. Thank you for sharing that. Try it. It's fun. What? Try working at Burger King? Okay. Hopefully, I won't have to do that this year. But jokes aside, yeah, I mean, I could picture this scenario, though. I mean, I don't think I'd eat any fast food if I worked at the place long enough. Sometimes you just need to see the secrets. I remember learning that the Frosty machine in the mall had roaches all up in it. And that makes sense. Roaches love sugar. Why wouldn't the Frosty machine have roaches all up in it? Corn syrup is bad for your brain. Yeah, corn syrup, it's more about, I think also, it might have some, don't quote me on this, because I don't trust any old person I get on the internet either, but, yes, in theory, the body treats it the same as sugar. But there may be some implications for the gut flora, but even then, I think it needs more real research, or, any one of us could do better for ourselves to, dig through existing research to better, get the information. And this doesn't mean watch random videos of people who we agree with or who semi-agree with us. I mean, sometimes you get good information if you hear a good doctor talking, and other times, it's like when someone goes, oh, you can fix all your health problems with supplements. It's like, yes and no, but I get the logic. I get it. I get that you got to be in the driver's seat of your own health sometimes, right? And that trusting others, delegating it, yeah. You gotta be in the driver's seat of your own health to some extent, or at least you gotta understand when you're following a recommendation from your, a physician, it helps to understand what you're doing, right? Doctors. Yeah, very Italian of you. I remember on Family Guy they made a joke about how Italians do their own doctoring. And hell, I've done my own medical procedures. One time I removed a wart with I actually did my own operation, yeah. And another time, what did I do? Nah, I've never done anything extreme. Like, I would never give myself stitches. If I need stitches, yeah, I'll go to a real doctor. But in my adulthood, I'd probably would take a stitches worthy cut and try to, like, wrap it tight or put butterfly stitches on it and call it a day. But when you're a kid, your parents are more likely to go to a doctor because they don't need that shit bleeding out. And kids are active, so kids are more likely to fuck up something like that. So having stitches sometimes is just a good way to, you know, I don't know, mobilize the skin, I guess. Discussion with Lexus. Oh, cool. Okay, this will be great. Yeah, Muse Dash, so he said Muse Dash, do it. I'll do it next week if I remember. I hope I remember because I do want to play some Muse Dash because it looks beautiful on my computer. It does. It looks great on this computer. Like, it looks so good on my computer. I even can play it at 120 hertz on my high refresh rate monitors. I trust a nutritionist more. That's a good option too. Absolutely awesome one. Eat better is better than take lots of artificial drugs. And that's a fair point. I think there are times where, you know, certain things, you know, maybe can only be treated that way. But generally, it's like the Eastern approach, right? Eastern medicine is about preventative medicine. Don't chain smoke. As opposed to how to treat someone for chain smoking, in Eastern medicine, the suggestion is don't chain smoke. And I think there's a certain elegant simplicity to that. A lot of issues can be alleviated by a drastic change in diet, mostly cutting out overly processed foods. Fair point. Yeah, I would be inclined to agree with both of those points. Awesome one and Tommy. And with that being said, so let's go wrap up. Before I do want to shout out, we are going to raid, I would like to raid Aris. I mean, you guys to raid Chaos for you. Chaos is streaming right now, but I want to raid Aris because, you know, he always posts my links so kindly. But Chaos for you 728 also shouts me out. Anytime I tune into a show, if I'm in the chat at the end of his show, he'll shout me out. So that's nice of Chaos. So yeah, but real quick, I do want to thank Awesome One, DJ Ronnie G. I'm just going to read the names off the screen. I want to thank Awesome One, DJ Ronnie G, Stream Elements, Tommy and the Guinea Pig Collective, Awesome One, oh, I said that already, Game Gear Goddess, Slim Nim. Slim Nim was one of the first people here alongside either Game Gear Goddess or Awesome One. I think both of them. You guys were all three among the first people here tonight. Thank you very much for tuning in. We also had Lady Mist, who is fast asleep right now, I hope. We had Aris218, who is streaming on my top right corner monitor. We had Real Wade Nation. He basically annoyed me enough about the Game Boy that I actually finally put the battery inside the fucking Game Boy. But tomorrow I'll plug it into a battery charger, give it a good healthy battery charge. Then I'll play some Game Boy during the week because, you know, I want to drain the battery. And then I'll ship out the Game Boy probably the same time I ship my phone out for repair. We also had Ann Gaming here. Ann Gaming, she's a cool cat. Nice channel. The Peter Venkman fan site. My DSi needs a new battery. And you can definitely get them on Amazon. Oh, I still got a picture of Egon's old battery for you. See how bad it was. Ooh, oh god. I think Peter Venkman fan site had an Egon action figure that had a corroded battery inside of it. So that could be a real treat. We have a hyperlink from Wade that I didn't click, but I have to go to the bathroom, so I can't click on it right now. We had some person here. Some person was great to see today. Yeah, he was right on it with the Star Trek reference. Hello from 30 minutes in the future. Oh god, I was that behind. Hello from 30 minutes from the future. Turtle. I get it. Okay, I'm reading the old messages. But no, I think I got everybody right. Oh, and I want to thank Logan, LDP, for the Me raid, or the LDP raid. And I want to thank Game Gear Goddess for also joining in that LDP raid. And I want to thank Lady Mist for giving me some kiwis and pizza for my turtles. Because, you know, actually turtles do like kiwis just about as much as I enjoy eating a good kiwi. Oh, Egon is my emergency phone. I was picturing an action figure with like a battery in the proton pack compartment to make it light up. But hey, that works too. That works too, Egon, for your emergency phone. Right now, it's funny you mention that. Check this out. See this Samsung battery here? I cleaned it off, but when I took this out of my Sidekick 4G, it had a bunch of black tar. See that black shit up there in the corner? If you touch it, it's super sticky. It was getting under my nails. I'm not even kidding. That black shit was getting under my nails. It's like some kind of corrosion that leaked from under the label. And it's all sticky. It's all nasty. And it didn't really get puffy, but it did leak like fucking crazy. My device is named after Ghostbuster characters. Oh, that's so cool. So, what? Before I go, I just got one question. Have you named any devices after Slimer? And that will be the final thing for the show. I just want to know if any devices were named after Slimer. But with that being said, yeah. As I said, tonight's rating party to Aris 218 and Awesome 0.5 as well. And Mrs. And Awesome 4 thanks and Awesome 5 thanks. Oh yeah. You got Awesome 1, Awesome 2. I am grateful for the Awesome 2. I think Awesome 2 is one of my favorites. But Awesome 5 is really great too. Awesome 0.5 has a lot to learn, however. Awesome 0.5 has a lot to learn. But Awesome 1, I think, will really, show the ropes to Awesome 0.5. So I have the utmost confidence in you, Awesome 1, to teach the next generation of Awesomes. 42 to the 42nd power. I am not going to read that number in full expression mode. Never forget, everyone, the answer is 42, just like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. My stolen phone was Peter. Well, you know what that means. You just got to make a second Peter. Name it Peter again. But that does suck. I know, like, I always worry about getting pickpocketed. I use all kinds of countermeasures. I always worry about, like, dropping a phone somewhere. But I've been pretty fortunate since Bamboozle in 2008. That time I went crowd surfing with a phone in my cargo pants. Like, how stupid is that? To put a no, it wasn't in my cargo pants. I had a BlackBerry in my holster. I had the magnetic holster. So the BlackBerry holster that you just drop it in place. It's a cute little magnetic clasp. The magnetic clasp is all fun and games until you go crowd surfing with it. As for Egon's battery, I'm sure you could replace the battery, but yeah, that's so sketchy. Oh, unless the battery is built into the inside of the phone. When internal batteries get puffy, that is super sketchy, right? Z equals Z squared plus C squared. What? Mrs. Peter likes Ghostbusters? I know, right? Can you believe that? Nope. She says nope. But jokes aside, yes. And I got it. I still got to post that picture. So coming soon, because I do have to run to the lavatory. Coming soon is going to be a picture of a Ghostbusters Firehouse toy. And inside of it, it's going to have a couple of little decals on the wall of the containment unit. And I forgot what else is in there, but it should be fun to see. I'm sure Venkman and a few other Ghostbusters fans will appreciate seeing that. And of course, if I post it and I forget to, if you guys don't see it by then, we can always reference that post and see it together on stream. So with that being said, once again, hey, at least Egon's battery was puffy, super puffy. At least it wasn't super ditty. Anyway, with that being said, I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. For anybody watching on the replay, if you have any questions, comments, ideas, or concerns. Ooh, we got more. Pete's battery is internal. Okay, that answers my question. And getting puffy. The back casing was getting warped. Ooh, that sucks. Yeah, that's sketchy. Yeah, and it's always tricky to... Certain phones you can open, like, by just prying the plastic cover off, especially before they were waterproof. But when they're waterproof, then it's like a little bit of a different ball game, right? But it's like... That's something I do want to explore more of, like what makes the batteries puffy. I did learn about, I think they're called lithium dendrites. I learned about that last week. We should talk about batteries some point after I learn a little bit more about how batteries work. And as Awesome One says, ciao, God bless, warp drive. That's warp speed to you, Lieutenant. And with that being said, once again, for anybody watching on the replay, if you have any questions, comments, ideas, or concerns, please leave a comment. Please like and subscribe.